It's the MythWits, a geek pop culture web series, broadcast live for video and audio podcasts. Watch us live at MythWits.com and find us on YouTube and iTunes, bringing you news and reviews about geek pop culture. We have comedy skits, play nerd-tastic games, and provide extensive on-location con coverage. And now, your hosts.
Hello and welcome to the MythWits. I'm your host, Peter Bryant, and tonight I am joined by Michael Kafis.
Hi-yo!
Brian Olvera.
Sup?
Allegra has the night off, and our special guest tonight is Pamela Gay.
Hey.
And before we go much further, or any further as it were, this show is not safe for work. So if you have sensitive ears or you're in a... Yeah, what's that, Mike? Yes?
Even though I promised my mom I wouldn't do this, and I, in honor of maybe our guest, but maybe not in honor, I apologize ahead of time. But is this show safe for Uranus?
It is safe for Uranus. Yes, I would say it's safe for Uranus, but maybe not for your anus. No.
Well, and I say that because maybe, Pluto might feel a little bit left out, but maybe we could talk about that later.
Right.
If you were a comet, you'd be unsafe for one. If you were a really hot curry, you'd be unsafe for the other.
Exactly.
All right.
Oh my God, it's Allegra! Allegra is here!
Oh, she is? All right, hold on. Wait. Oh my God, you caught me off guard.
Hello.
Bing! There we go. All right, I just added her in. Hey, Allegra.
He lied. Let me just catch you up. This show is not safe for Uranus. I mean, it's not safe for my anus, but it is safe for Uranus. Uranus. Sorry. Okay.
Planet.
I'm still not sure if it's safe or not now.
It's not safe for work.
Definitely.
All right, so tonight we are joined by Pamela Gay. She is, let's see, we got her bio right here. American, she's got a lot of credits. This is why. She is an American astronomer, educator, podcaster, and writer, best known for her work in astronomical podcasting and citizen science astronomy projects. She works as an assistant research professor at Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville. Her research interests include analysis of astronomy data as well as examination of the impact of citizen science initiatives. She has also appeared as herself in various television documentary series. Was that your hardest role, or?
Trying to keep the makeup from splotching might indeed make it the hardest role I've done. You learn in college when you're training to be an astrophysicist how to sound smart. They don't train you how not to get makeup all over your face in inappropriate ways.
Oh, I see. Okay. So tonight, as you can guess, we're going to be talking all about astronomy. But I promise you, Pamela, we are not going to stay there. We are going to veer off into geek territory. So, because I know you talk about astronomy all the time, and I would imagine every once in a while you get kind of like, oh, this again. So, so we're going to veer off into movies and stuff as well. So
sounds good.
Let's get the business end of this moving for our fans.
Let's get this guy out of the way.
Let's get all the boring stuff. No, I'm kidding. No, but yeah, I definitely want to do some astronomy stuff because you are a brilliant person in this part of the conversation, the most brilliant person in the room, as it were. So one of the big things that I remember speaking with you about, because we've talked a lot at conventions and stuff, and is Nicole your protege? Would you call her your protege?
She is someone who is up and coming, and I've had the chance to push her along and hopefully teach her a few things along the way, but she's much better in some areas than I am, and we're very different in other areas.
Okay, well, yeah, because she does radio astronomy. I don't know how much radio astronomy you've done.
She does radio astronomy instrumentation. I simply use the data.
Okay.
So she knows how to make the data come out, and I know what to do with it when it's there.
It sounds like me at work. I have a bunch of engineers that do most of my work for me.
All right, wait. Pamela, you can talk more about her if you want. She didn't speak very well of you when you were, so feel free to just say anything you need to say about her. anything you care to air out. You know what I mean? This is a sick place.
I have a cute little purple-headed postdoc who is brilliant and can kick your ass with science. So I am not quite as tough as nails as she is, nor as purple-headed on most days.
Yeah, no, she was on our show before. And
All right, I tried.
she was an awesome guest. Yeah, nice work there, Mike.
I
And
tried.
she's literally little.
Yeah.
I say little because she's smaller than I am in all directions, including age.
Wow. Yeah.
She puts the little literally.
Yes.
See what I did there?
Yeah. All right. So moving along. So you do a lot of work with citizen science. I mean, that seems to be one of your major focuses. So for anyone who is not familiar with the role of citizen science, could you, give us a little bit of a primer on that?
The basic idea is there are lots of different types of science where we simply don't have enough human beings who are trained as scientists to advance the science. And this has always been true. Citizen science actually kind of started back during the American Civil War when a bunch of farmers and other people started collecting data that eventually became part of our national weather understanding, where there's still farmers out there today submitting their data to what's now the Smithsonian Institute and helping us develop weather models. So it used to be you couldn't have a weather station everywhere, so you had a farmer everywhere, and they'd send in their data. Then eventually it progressed to, well, we're doing better on the weather front, but now we have a problem with variable stars. So back at the turn of the last century, Harvard College Observatory started organizing people to watch for variable stars, watch for supernovae, and so we got bands of astronomers with backyard telescopes. Today, we don't need as many people going outside and looking up, although we do need them. Instead, we have a problem with too much data coming down from spacecraft and getting taken with surveys. And we have software that finds us the coolest bits most of the time, but we need human beings to help us go through and find all the things that we can learn about our solar system in this data that we as professional scientists just don't have enough of us and enough funding to go ahead and find on our own.
Okay. Yep, absolutely. And the human brain is about 1,000,000 times more powerful than the most powerful computer out there.
For some
According to the
things.
human brain.
What's that?
According to the human brain, at least.
According to the human brain, the human brain is narcissistic in that way, I think. So,
Let it keep that one small victory.
right, you can have this. All right, so I have a bunch of questions, and I don't know. I don't want to start first because I've written a bunch of questions. So I'd like, does anybody in our no? Because I'll keep you all night. These guys know I'll talk and talk and talk and talk. So I wanted to give these other guys a chance to jump in first. If they had any questions about any kind of astronomy related questions, you've got an expert right here. Wow. Okay.
So you caught me off guard. I'm like,
So,
I'm 1 in a million, quite literally, here on the planet Earth. Only about 1 in 1,000,000 people is a professional astronomer. So I now know what you guys do if you have a 1 in a million chance at something.
Panic.
Or
Awesome.
silently.
Panic.
all right. So, all right. Well, then I'll start off, and you guys follow behind as quickly as you can.
I feel like people have like actual like good questions, and my questions would be on the level of like, so is astronomy similar to like astrology? Like, do you read the stars?
As long as you do nothing comparing that Paris sculpture with Uranus, we're good.
No. You know what? There's. I mean, you ask simple questions like, for example, let's start. All right, this is one I want to start with. I know it's a hot button with a lot of people. I really like this question because I don't have any emotional attachment to it. I just kind of go with where the science is.
Getting into the spicy stuff already. All right, let's do this.
So Pluto.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the designation of it and the fact that people are talking about it again as replanetizing it. I have my opinions on it, but I'd like to hear what your thoughts are on that before I say another word.
So as someone trying really hard to come to terms with the fact that the NASA program I rely on for funding is going away, Pluto is making a lot of people a whole lot of money by not being clearly defined. And so a lot of this hubbub you see is actually helping pay human beings.
Okay.
Not to do science, but to give talks, to sell books. And I'm fine with profit, sort of, kind of. I have never worked anywhere that turns a profit. But the thing you have to remember is there was a fight a number of years ago, back in 2006, over whether or not Pluto should be a planet. And that fight originated from the fact that there were two different committees in the International Astronomical Union arguing over who would get to name a new object that at that point in time we thought might be bigger than Pluto. Mm-hmm. And it was a power struggle between two committees that landed us with the horrible definition we have today. Since then, a whole bunch of people have written books, and a whole lot of people have started to invest in the speaking circuit. Some of them are earning $75,000 a talk, which is enough to pay Nicole's salary, fringe, and everything else in the middle of the country for an entire year.
For actually doing real work.
And so every time this goes in the news, more books sell. So I'm in a position right now where I'm looking at this and it's like, okay, the only legitimate body that can fix the problem that we're in right now is the International Astronomical Union. They're meeting in August. There's going to be debates. It's after the New Horizons mission has gotten to Pluto, and we'll have science.
Right.
Anyone who's trying to bring it up before then is simply trying to get attention for themselves and keep this in the news and keep the books selling. And that's a pretty cynical viewpoint, but I'm watching the money. Right. And I can't tell you the number of times I've gone to give a talk someplace where they're like, okay, we'll pay your travel and buy you coffee and dinner. And I get there and I start hearing about how much they've paid other people to talk about Pluto. And it's just sort of like, so that's where all the money is going, to pay for people to argue about Pluto. Now I know.
Oh, it's Big Pluto. Better watch out. Big Pluto's
Pluto.
Dang.
So it's, yeah, that's the cynical reality, is wait till August, and in August, the science will get argued by people who can make a decision.
Wow. So
until then, it's politics.
See, one of the things I was reading, Phil Plait had written, and I'm like right on. When I read this, I was like, God damn it, Phil Plait, he nails it again. No, he's super good at doing this. I guess that's why he is who he is. But he said that the term planet is arbitrary, and it's kind of like a, I don't want to say it's a dumb term, but it's kind of like it's not really that meaningful. He said they basically are all just orbiting bodies, and to try and define what is a planet and what's not is kind of silly in a way.
And this is where it starts to come down to, why do you need the definition? Mm-hmm. I've personally tried really hard, and I've talked about this on Astronomy Cast, I've tried really hard to train myself to use the word world, because no one has a dog in that fight.
Right.
And I'm not going to screw up if I call Titan a world. Mm-hmm. But when I was at a meeting of the European Planetary Sciences Conference earlier this year, I saw a bunch of the scientists with the Dawn mission, a little spacecraft that went and visited the asteroid Vesta. Mm-hmm. They were referring to Vesta as a planet. And with them, they don't have any money in this argument. With them, it's a matter of getting their science out more. And so it's really amusing me, and I'd love to hire a sociologist to study how scientists are now using the word planet to get attention and be controversial. The word planet shouldn't be controversial, but today it is.
That's amazing to me, because when I had this question, up until this discussion right now, I had no idea that there was any money involved in this whole thing. I had no clue. I thought it was just a scientific debate.
think about all of the books. Think about all of the television gigs. Think about all of the speeches.
Right.
Money and all of that at a certain level.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Yeah, no, it totally makes sense. So, wow. Okay, so that's very enlightening. Wow.
So any sociologists who are listening, this is your chance to hop on the Pluto gravy train.
Yes! Yes, sociologists
I
can
would
make money.
love to work with you.
No, that is awesome. Awesome in like a really it's like reality TV in a way, you know? It's like
Well, so I think you probably brought this question up because of the Harvard press release that came out a few weeks ago.
yeah, yeah.
And so when you look at that, was that a group of people who had any way to officially deem Pluto a planet? No.
Nope. They were nobodies.
But what happened? They got a lot of media attention.
Yeah.
I'm sure it probably led to some TV appearances. All of that raises your profile.
Yeah.
All of that's good for a career. All of that's good for donations. It's the type of thing that makes a whole lot of people happy and has nothing to do with the science that gets accomplished.
Right. Okay, well then let's move on from that to something.
That's kind of how things work lately.
It is.
It's like who has the most clickbaitiest headline possible. Like we can't report stuff the way science is actually reported because it's not very exciting. You know, it's like, hey, we've discovered this thing. We're not sure if it actually does anything or if it's related to anything else, but and that doesn't get all the people being like, oh my God, fluoride gives me cancer.
Oh man!
And sharing the article on Facebook. You know, but like people have to like over sensationalize science to get people to be interested in it, and that's
it's so frustrating because all of us now find ourselves having to be part of this game. There was recently the top 50 scientists on Twitter debate and the controversy that came out of that and well, you're not on it, so clearly you're not good at social media, but wait, you are on it, so clearly you're not spending enough time doing science.
Oh my Lord.
It's getting to the point that the metrics that we use to judge success aren't entirely based on our ability to think and reason and science, but in today's economy where donations make all the difference, where having your name recognized might get you the large grant because they're not sure if you're good enough because they don't know your name, but wait, this name they do know. Suddenly there's not enough to go around, so you do have to change the game to be one of celebrity.
Right. So we have a question, I'm sorry, from the chat room here. Kyle Carmichael says, Dr. Gay, if money/labs/space/minions, I think that's how it is, were not obstructions, what is your dream research project? The thing you want to study more than the others?
Oh man, so this is going to sound really weird because so much of my research is tied up in astronomy, but I really want to understand the social dynamics of why is it that some people choose so hard to put up with the getting teased, to put up with the costs, and to use their spare time not sitting on their butt, not outside playing with their friends, but online doing science, so that I can hopefully convert more people to doing that, and with that research get it so that when you go to iTunes, you see as many projects in the App Store that allow you to engage in science as you see games.
Right.
Imagine if the top app list listed ways to do science side by side with games. I'm not the world's best scientist. Anyone who's known me a long time knows that looking at theoretical math makes my head spin.
Right.
I love software. I love studying the edge of science and society. And I want to be the person who's helping the sociologists get access to people so that they can understand how do we popularize science and get more science done by getting fewer video games played. And that probably makes me unpopular with the video game writers, but hey, they can write science apps too.
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's a very good answer. Someone else asked if you use any OxyClean products, but I think that might be a spam.
We've achieved a small level of fame. Like, we're getting spam bots now because they can reach our many, many viewers.
Oh, hey, check this out. You got a message from Aussie Pete. Do you know what Aussie Pete?
Oh, he's awesome.
Okay, he says, hope Pamela had a good trip back from SSO. We will try to help out with some donations for Cosmo Quest.
That's awesome. I just got back from spending 2 fabulous weeks down under doing all the sciencing. I got to go to the Siding Springs Observatory where they just dedicated a 27-inch telescope to 3 fabulous women in astronomy, Dorrit Hofflet, Annie Jump Cannon, Jocelyn Bell Burnell. And after that, I got to do a whole series of helping get people actively engaged in learning and doing science all over the Melbourne area. And I learned there are cockatoos everywhere, and Aussies actually do use the mate. It just hadn't occurred to me.
Right.
They actually say it.
Yeah. So, one of the questions that I have about the future of space travel and all that kind of stuff. I think that the space elevator is probably one of the coolest things we'll ever make.
Yes.
I really want that to happen. I think that will be pivotal to us if we ever want to get to setting up any kind of station in the Jovian system, or really even effectively getting a base put on Mars. A space elevator is going to be kind of instrumental to that, just simply because it's so expensive and so intensive to get something off of this planet, much less a lot of something.
We probably can't build one for Earth, though. And the problem is that a space elevator has to go from the surface of the planet up to geosynchronous orbit and then have some sort of a counterweight beyond that, so its center of mass is at geosynchronous.
Right.
And that part isn't the hard part. The problem is all the other satellites that we use for weather communications, CanSats with kids' homework problems on them. All of these other satellites have orbits that zigzag back and forth across the equator, which is where the space elevator would have to attach. And over time, they eventually go over every point on that equator unless you steer them.
Okay.
And so everything in a lower orbit and many of the higher orbits than geosynchronous would have to get their orbits altered on a fairly regular basis so that they didn't collide with the space elevator. And I don't trust rush hour drivers, and I'm not sure I trust teenagers with CanSats.
Right. Oh, that's an issue then. Yeah, okay, that's a downer. Because I was just thinking...
But we can put them other places.
Put one around the moon? Put one on the moon, or...
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so you think then realistically probably it's going to be moon base. And would you
or Mars.
Would you really? You probably wouldn't even really need a space elevator off the moon, would you? Because I mean, the gravity's pretty low. It's
low, but it's still energy. I mean, this is why people argue about perhaps going to an asteroid before we return to the moon. Is it still has it's 1/6 gravity at its surface, and 1/6 is still a lot in the grand scheme of stuff and things.
Because it still has to power its way off of there.
Yeah. Now, if we're going to Mars, we're not quite starting from scratch, but the satellites that we currently have orbiting it, I think we'd be willing to move into different orbits to avoid a space elevator if we get there.
Ah, I see. Okay.
And if we're trying to build a civilization on Mars, starting from one point where that space elevator would connect and not spreading out too much, it starts to look more and more feasible.
Okay.
There's a fabulous series of books, Kim Stanley Robinson's Red, Blue, Green, Mars series. And they discuss having a space elevator and also having it fall out of the sky, which has made me permanently terrified of space elevators in an entirely illogical way.
I'm not reading the series.
Well, because you have this, you have this cord, the tether, which has got to be super strong. I mean, it's got to be like ridiculous strong. Like, I don't even think carbon nanotubes are strong enough, really, even from Mars. I know they're not from Earth. So you've got this super indestructible tether, because it has to be. And how long does it have to be? Several
It's hundreds of thousands.
miles, right?
Yeah.
Imagine that thing falling to the planet and wrapping around it and destroying everything it hits as it whips around the planet like this deadly. And of course, relatively to the length, it's really thin, so it would just literally, like, if you had skyscrapers, it would cut them right in half. So yeah, good time.
I feel like you're pitching the next big like Hollywood sci-fi blockbuster disaster movie.
Stop giving Roland Emmerich ideas.
It could be done. Here on Earth, a collapsing space elevator would largely get destroyed by our atmosphere.
Okay, good.
But then you have the satellite moving problem. Mars doesn't have that atmosphere. Mars, it's a great way to destroy equatorial civilization. Yeah. Just putting that out there.
Just in case, because there's no such thing as terrorists ever that would do anything like that. All right, so have you read the book The Martian?
What if we had Google self-driving satellites that could like navigate around?
All hail Google.
Yeah, so the problem is they still have to carry all the fuel, and the more fuel they have to carry, the more expensive they are to launch, and they have a shorter lifespan than something that you just throw up, and the only time you need to turn on an engine is because its orbit has started to sag due to a little bit of atmospheric drag. So having to steer satellites to constantly avoid a space elevator, it just shortens their lifetime.
So the juice
they
is
have
not
to be
worth the
funded
squeeze.
by Google too.
Yeah, exactly.
So have you read the book The Martian? Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. Did you want Mike has been in and out. His computer's been having issues. So go ahead, Mike.
Yeah.
Get a word in.
Evidently, a hibernation on a laptop in the middle of a Google Hangout is like a recipe for disaster. I just want to say, let's go back. Basically, when I left out, so where pick up where we left off? No, I'm just kidding.
So I was asking Pam if
just pick up. I'll pick it up.
Okay. Have you read The Martian yet?
No, I actually downloaded it onto my Kindle, and it's next on my list. I unfortunately made the mistake of when I was coming back from Australia, I did a sort on Stephen King by length and got the longest one I hadn't read yet.
Oh, okay.
Didn't look at all at what it was, and it was The Stand, which, given the world's current Ebola outbreak, was not the right book to finish it. But yeah, mistake made.
All right, well, so I won't spoil it for you.
I anticipate. I think you'll find it very good. Everyone who's read it has said that it's been very scientifically accurate. But I would love to see what someone like you would have to say about what their expertise brings to it, because I was just floored at just how entertaining it was and kind of real they kept it.
I've heard the last page of it read out loud, because why read the rest of the book when you can hear only the last page?
Sure.
Spoilers.
And yeah, with a few spoilers among friends. But I'm eager to read it, but like I said, I'm currently embroiled in The Stand by Stephen King because poor choices.
Right. Okay. So what? What's this? Something about cryosleep. Oh, okay. So somebody's asking about cryosleep. Do you think this will be possibly happening within our lifetime? I know I saw an article on it, and they were talking about it.
There is a fabulous experiment going on in Pennsylvania, I think, right now.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, they made everyone in a fairly small town, if they didn't want to be part of the research study, to fill out paperwork. And the idea is that if anyone in the town is part of a shooting accident such that the surgeons don't feel they would normally be able to keep them alive long enough to repair the damage, they're going to replace their blood with a special highly oxygenated substance and cool the bodies greatly so that they have the added time to perform the surgery.
Oh,
this is the first step. Once we figure out how to sustain life at lowered temperatures with artificial blood for surgery purposes, it starts opening the door for more and more other purposes to also off-label uses, I guess, go into research.
Because I was thinking about it, there's so many barriers to sending human beings to Mars and getting them back. I mean, it's at this point, it's I don't want to say impossible, but it's really difficult.
So Mars is a 6-month journey, so I'm not too uptight about the distance. The Leviathan series of books actually does a really good job of discussing things like zero G, exercise, needing to take special hormones to prevent bone loss. All of that's legit, and that's the future I see. The real problem isn't the distances when it comes to Mars. It starts to become the problem when you start looking at Jupiter and beyond. But with Mars, the real issue is we don't know how to not radiate astronauts.
Right.
And Mars 1 is planning to do it and hasn't solved this problem yet. And I am not a fan of giving these brilliant, wonderful people we send into space devastating amounts of gene mutation. That just seems like a bad way to go. The sun's giving off cosmic rays, so supernovae are giving off cosmic rays. All of these high energy particles are not good for your DNA, and we need to figure out how to protect the people short of hollowing out an asteroid and flying around in a hollowed out asteroid, which admittedly Planetary Resources is kind of working towards.
Okay. Because that's exactly where I was going with that. One of the big problems is the radiation, and if you could put people in hibernation and keep them in a small compressed space, you could put shielding around them instead of having to shield like a big ship that they can move around in. It'd be easier. You'd need less life support. You'd need less resources. You could shield them better. All these things would come with keeping them in one small spot for a long period of time. So that would be something that would be a definite boon to traveling that distance.
Yes and no. Surface area goes as the square of the radius, which is a mathematical way of saying taking a whole bunch of people and putting them in a smaller sphere versus putting them in a larger sphere increases quickly, but not as quickly as the volume does. So a small change in the radius gives you a whole lot of extra space to play with. All of that extra weight, though, of the shielding with our current technology, whether it's a small one or a large one, we don't have the capacity to send the scrubbers, the oxygen-producing plants, the fish that will be used, or the algae that will be used. There's all of these different things that would need to be shielded, and we're just not there yet.
We just need to create a force field. Put like a force field. Just put a force field around it.
Well, that's actually true. Well, not the lasers. No, there's people trying to figure out how to build magnetic field generators that don't require a huge amount of energy, because instead of surrounding people with like a physical shield, you can use an energy shield. It's just a magnetic energy shield, and you can generate this with electromagnets, but energy, size, weight, that's no problem. So we need to figure out low weight ways to generate big magnetic fields and effective energy production. Different problem, more interesting problem.
What about zombie DNA? I mean, zombies could probably survive it, couldn't they?
Just put The Walking Dead in there.
I think that's a level in Plague Inc.
Oh, you play that game? Yes, guilty.
And I'm forcing this because I know I saw you posted on Facebook. I saw you posted The Walking Dead, and it was a bunch of red shirts from Star Trek walking around on a planet. I thought it was so funny. It was awesome.
No, I was playing Plague Inc. for the first time, and I'm like, ha ha ha! I just wiped out Europe, And my wife's looking at me like, what? I was just like, Moscow just collapsed, right? She's like, what the hell are you playing?
I was having back in August just this absolutely terrible week, and I was like, everyone needs to die. I shall kill them with Plague Inc. And I took great glee in killing off the world in many different ways. The brain worm, I think, was the most satisfying.
That's one of my favorites. The zombie one was done pretty well too. Have you played? Yeah, okay.
The fungus is horrible. Fungus just makes me sad and upset. It is not an effective way to kill the planet.
No.
Oh.
All right. So, I guess what is your favorite space program? So, I was looking at all the different space programs. You have just different for all these different missions and stuff. And I was wondering what has inspired you the most? What sticks? It doesn't even have to be like what's the coolest thing. Just what would be your favorite if you had to pick one?
Oh man.
Before you answer, just know that Apollo the Rocket watches this show. And I know you get interviewed by him, so I would just...
I interviewed him, and you know what? He's a snarky motherfucker. I tell you, he's a pain in the ass.
But he got the job done.
Yes, he did. He was very amusing, very entertaining.
For a plastic piece of cheese on his head, he gets it
with
done.
the little lunar lander, little micro machine. No, but seriously, what is your favorite space program?
I have to say, in terms of the little engine that could, there's a sweet spot in my heart for the Dawn mission.
Okay.
This is a spacecraft that actually has an ion engine, and they don't work nearly as well as in Star Trek. You're just firing a little ion one at a time, well, a few at a time, out the back end of the spacecraft, and these little tiny, really high velocity ions flying out is pushing the spacecraft forward. And so you'll get reports back like, we think we're leaving orbit today. We think we entered orbit today. And so it kind of changes direction kind of slowly, but it's going to be able to visit multiple asteroids and do long-term science, and it has a sweet set of cameras. It let us figure out that Vesta is the asteroid that Dr. Seuss designed. And if you want to talk about getting hit in the ass, the asteroid Vesta took one on the south side.
Oh.
So hard, it wrinkled around the middle. It has wrinkle ridges around its waist. It's not a muffin top, it's an impact wrinkle.
Oh, I got one of those. I ate a bunch of burritos one night. And
Those weren't ions.
Oh. They were high velocity particles, though. Let me tell you.
So Vesta is this awesome object that it actually has craters that got squished during this past impact in literally its south pole, and it's just awesome. And it turns out that this little world that's way smaller than the moon, you could easily launch a golf ball off the surface that would just keep going until it got somewhere else. This little world, it has a differentiated crust, which is a fancy way of saying it has different stuff at different depths, like the Earth does. We weren't expecting that, and it has water on it, and it's just cool. And we're still figuring out all the different ways that it's cool. And it's because of the Dawn mission, which wasn't expensive. It's not a huge team of people. It's basically a startup company worth of humans running a satellite, and it's awesome.
Okay. So yeah.
Which one was this?
Dawn.
What was the Dawn? Okay. What do you think of SpaceX? This is in the private sector. I mean,
yeah,
do you think they're doing good stuff?
is fabulous. SpaceX is the last best hope of manned spaceflight for the Americas and possibly for the world. Have you had an opportunity to view their facilities? Did you get a tour? I haven't. I haven't been to that part of California since they opened them. I know Fraser has, and I'm terribly jealous. But I do follow all of their stuff online, and I love the engineers' approach to it as opposed to either the military or government approach. Right. And it really was enlightening to see with both SpaceX and with Scaled Composites, who did Spaceship One, and now they're working with Virgin Galactic. These are two companies that had engineers at the forefront going, okay, so we do this, we do this, we do this, we do this, as opposed to the military or government where it's the convene committees, write white papers, write the call for proposals, take the call for proposals, judge. And by having engineers at the front, we're like, okay, we're just going to go. We're going to we're going to do this thing. We're going to test this thing. We're going to be considered versus considering what we're going to consider.
Right. Oh God, Mike and I both work for the government. We know all about the red tape and procurement and oh my God. How do we ever get anything done as a country?
My favorite piece of paperwork I've ever had to fill out was I had to document and explain why I bought a train ticket back from Chicago for $20-something instead of returning by airplane.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah, I love when I have to write three quotes for something to save $20, and the hour it takes me to generate the 3 quotes is like 4 times the cost that I would have saved if I'd have just bought it. So.
Yes.
I'm the king of writing a justification. I convinced all our we're a state nonprofit grant-funded program, and I was still able to write a justification for us to all get iPads.
Oh, nice. All right, so I like, and I have a question about this, and it's kind of why I was bringing this up, but my favorite is Voyager, and I think it's just because when I was a kid, I was 7 years old when Voyager was launched, and it was just this really cool mission, and then I can't remember when it was leaving our proper solar system, like not in the heliosphere or any of that kind of stuff, but just kind of going past Pluto.
Yeah. Well, it didn't go past Pluto. That was the great sadness. It went past, I want to say,
the orbit
Uranus
of
and Neptune in the 80s.
Yes.
It went past Uranus when I was still young enough that I got yelled at to take a nap so I could stay up late enough to watch the data coming back.
Okay.
And that was one of my defining memories. It's a very strange one, yet it's mine.
Well, I remember it was they said it was leaving our solar system, so I guess it had passed the distance of Pluto's outermost orbit. I'm guessing, I don't know, I was young still. But there was a phone number you could call, and you could listen to its transmission, a recording of its transmission as it was leaving our solar system, and I was like, that has just kind of stuck with me, and I've always thought it was. I've always just thought that was such a cool, like, I don't know, it's one of our cool programs, and the damn thing is still running. It's still going.
It is. This is why we need radioactive isotopes.
Yep.
It's powered with a radiothermal generator, and it's another little engine that could. It's just going to keep going and going and going, and it's still sending back signal, and we have to use everything to listen for it. But it has working instrumentation still.
Yeah, like it's amazing. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's actually it is in interstellar space now, right? It has completely left our solar system.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Now, admittedly, they've put out press releases saying that many times, but this last one we think was the press release to end all press releases.
This one is the one, I swear. It's out there.
All right. I want to chime in for a second. I want to tell you what I think my favorite program was. And for me, I would have to say the basic shuttle program. I mean, the space shuttle. I don't know if there was any one name they had for it other than the STS series or something, right? But
space
basically
shuttles.
For me, yeah. So basically for me as a young, student coming up in elementary school, I think it had the most, they let us watch the launches and I'm going to touch on Challenger for just a minute because it really brought for me as I want to say maybe a 6th or a 7th, maybe a 7th or 8th grader watching that, it really just brought the impact of really what is going on and how dangerous it can be, and it still kind of reinforced the importance. And I think I had a very good science teacher who really broke a lot of stuff down for us. And but I think I would have to say that the shuttle program was my favorite. And it's one that was in that prime time for me as a young student. So.
Yeah, I remember the Challenger disaster rather clearly. I graduated high school in '92 and was in 6th grade for it. And I grew up in New England in Westford, Massachusetts, and I remember Mrs. Leyland, my math teacher. We had math the explosion happened during lunch. And
Yeah, that's
next
right.
period, I had computer science, and they announced it over the loudspeaker, which is the only time I think for people my age something got announced over the loud system for a national disaster. And then the next class I had was algebra, and Mrs. Leyland was talking about how she knew Krista McCullough, how she tried to be in the program herself, and the fact that when you agree to take part in these things, you know that there's the potential you're going to die, and you make the personal choice that you'd rather die than not try.
Yep.
And that was a very powerful lesson, that there are things worth dying for, and it's not always simply freedom. Sometimes it's knowledge.
Well, that's like there's a lot of the astronauts that have been asked, how would you feel about a one-way trip to Mars, and it's unbelievable how many are like, I'm in, let's go. Like, pack my bags.
There's a few exceptions, but
right,
it's the idea that they know their lives are in danger every time they fly. It's very real. But it's a decision, and it's a noble one.
Cool. Well, let's pay some of the bills a little bit here, as it were. Pamela does a thing called Astronomy Cast. I want to get this in before we go any further, before we get too much further. Astronomy Cast is a great podcast. I've been listening to it for years and years. I remember actually maybe it was our first Dragon Con, I think, or second, either first or second, but I still had my lanyard. I had to pack it away because we were getting ready to move, but I still had my Astronomy Cast lanyard that I used for years. Tell everybody a little bit about Astronomy Cast and what it is you guys do.
So Astronomy Cast is co-hosted by myself and Fraser Cain, and we do a weekly discussion. Yes, Fraser is kind of amazing. He's the publisher of Universe Today and works for HeroX, which is a company that's trying to figure out how to crowdsource solving the world's problems. So Fraser's just an awesome individual that I'm really lucky to get to work with.
What did you do today?
I'm saving the world.
That's Fraser. So each week he basically puts me through an oral examination on some topic in astronomy. We originally started with the catchphrase, takes a facts-based journey through the universe, talking about not only what we know, but how we know it, which we still do. But Fraser takes particular delight in trying to come up with the most convoluted, complex questions he can come up with. And every week it's a new, can I Google everything ahead of time? This week, challenge. Wow. And if you watch us live, and we're recording live on Thursday, you'll get to see all of the times that we apologize to our audio editor and I look up the answers to all those questions that you want to know, and oh shoot, no one's figured that out. Let me look up these 4 facts and do something real fast to figure it out.
Yeah, because and it's funny too, because when you listen to Astronomy Cast, it sounds like Fraser's just like innocently asking you these questions, like, "Hey Pamela, I'm just wondering,
what's this mean?
What's this mean?"
No, he's one sharp cookie. He runs one of the largest space news websites. He knows everything that's going on. He doesn't know the physics background. He doesn't know the concepts. That's why he needs me. But he has enough power to be very dangerous, and we have a lot of fun with it. We're going into year 8. We have to enjoy what we do.
We have to get him on the show at some point.
Yeah, you tell him he's next. He's coming on here too. You just let him know.
I will tell him that on Thursday.
And you let him know that we're gonna dig into gaming, because we're all gamers. So we're all role players.
Yeah.
Do you role play?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. Well, then you're with like people. But yeah, we definitely wanted to get him, because we know he did some writing for role playing.
He wrote several. I forget which universe he was writing for, but yeah, and he is kind of one of those jack of all trades. Sit him down and get a story out of him some night over a beer. He's peeling back an onion and you just keep finding awesome.
That's cool.
Let me tell you what surreal is. Surreal was being at Dragon Con, sitting in the bar, at the the Hilton. We always say that, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Allegra's favorite place.
Yeah. You see Fraser Cain and Dr. Steven Novella, and they are geeking out. I mean, it could have just been any two other people, but to see those two was the most surreal thing to see. I mean, just how they were geeking out on role-playing stuff. And, oh, yeah, I wrote for this. And, oh, did you? Oh, I used to play that module. And, oh, there, this and that. And you're like, oh, what alternate universe did I just walk into?
Yeah,
It was great.
Steven's like, I don't really like the way the dice work in this system, and the leveling up is a bit clunky.
They are big LARPers. The novellas are all big LARPers, and that's not meant as a put down. Yeah, they're big LARPers.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a LARPer, but I am a role player.
I have never LARPed, but the MIT Assassins Guild is kind of the group that I wanted to go to MIT so I could be part of the Assassins Guild.
Oh, really? Okay.
You know what was LARPing for us? What was LARPing for us is Pete and I used to put on like hockey gear and football helmets and all kinds of stuff, and we used to get sticks and hit each other with it. Okay.
Well, padded. They were padded.
No. Yeah, there was padding and stuff, but there was no story behind it. Right. But that's basically LARPing,
That's the Society of Creative Anachronism taken on a sharp.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know. The use of all the sports gear makes me think you guys were trying to like role play as like actual sports athletes.
We were just doing the GFL series. That's all.
Yeah, that's what it was. We were the GFL. Yes.
Yeah.
Quentin Barnes. Hey, buddy. Fucking Lundy. The best. You know what, Mike is catching up. Where are you, Mike? Have you made it to the champion yet?
Huh?
Have you made it to the champion yet?
Yeah, I've made it all the way to the champion now.
Okay, cool. So you finally caught up.
Oh, yeah.
I have not.
Oh, uh-oh.
This is why I have Nicole in my life.
There you go. So you do Astronomy Cast, and that's every week, right? Is that pretty much every week?
So we take off summer, and then we periodically have fiascos where like I am in a foreign country and realize sleep.
Right. Yeah, we took off. What do we take off? June and December. So we give ourselves 2 months to like kind of reset and fix things and cut bits and stuff like that.
Yeah, we
I don't
usually
even
do
feel good about it, but we have to. I hate it. I hate when we have to take off. Like, we gotta do something in the feed. We gotta have something for the people.
Nah, it's better that we take the time off because it's time to make our bits and cut our videos and play games like we're going to play tonight. All right, so real quick, let's get let's do this real quick. Now
I have one thing because I know we're gonna probably delve out of science a little bit, and one of my questions, I know you guys got a lot into the citizen science and stuff like that when I was trying to unhibernate my computer. I have a specific question for you, and I hope it's not in the Fraser area. This isn't coming out of Fraser territory, but if you were given, $1 trillion, okay? I mean, like an unlimited supply of money, okay? They just said, here, use this, do what you do whatever you want to do in order to promote, citizen science and astronomy. What would did that already happen?
Yes, you missed that. The question was already asked in the chat room.
The basic summary goal is I would do the research necessary to figure out how to make doing citizen science as popular in the App Store as playing video games.
There you go. All right.
My goal is to get
all this
everyone
time
doing science.
Between the first answer and now, you had all this time to think about it, and you still sticking with that answer, are you?
Yeah.
So
all right.
Well,
just get back to me.
So just real quick, because we spent a lot of time on this with Nicole, and people can go back and watch that episode. But just so they don't absolutely have to, CosmoQuest. You run something called CosmoQuest.
I do. So CosmoQuest is a project that is funded by NASA until our grant ends, which point, the program funding our project is canceled. I've now been notified 5 times the program funding us is canceled. It's also funding things like Astronomy Picture of the Day, so I can't take this personally because they're like kind of awesome. No, it's just the entire grant call was canceled at NASA. So we're currently a NASA-funded project, now seeking new funders. If you would like to donate, you can go to cosmoquest.org/donate. And when we're not begging for money, which is apparently my job this evening, we are working with a variety of different scientists to map out our solar system. We are literally creating the maps that are going to be used by future lunar explorers, and there's all of the X Prize teams getting ready to land sometime, probably in 2015, and we're mapping out where is it safe to land, where's the cool science, and we have our first research results out in the journal Icarus, and we are the first science project to get publishable research out of surface science for a planetary rock, which is a fancy way of saying lots of other people tried and we're the first people to get it right. So I'm really proud of what we've created. And we have about 3,000 people a day coming to our site, talking about astronomy, learning about astronomy, and then helping us map our solar system.
You know, this is a fundamental problem here. I mean, this goes so deep, and I'm sure you've thought about this and had these discussions before, but you know, you've got a program that gets people excited and engaged in science, okay? So that will lead to those people getting involved in doing things for science. Mm-hmm. You're probably not funded with a ton of money, right? It's a little, probably very small amount of money.
I tell people who work in high tech how much we cost to run, and they usually snort because it cost for our entire project what 2 high-end programmers cost.
Exactly.
So you could either hire my husband twice and give him insurance and everything else, or fund all of CosmoQuest.
Exactly. And you produce results, and people get involved, and you get free labor. Like, you probably get hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of free labor if you really added it up.
Yeah. We have, and we do.
But we're gonna defund that. That's what we're gonna defund. It's just, that's crazy. I mean, it's just, and it's a short-sightedness, I think, that, you know, our government has to spend money on so many things, but they can't spend money on science and basic projects that are going to make a difference down the road. I mean, for long periods of time.
There's a fundamental problem in how we do a lot of our science funding here in the United States. Every grant I write, and I write a lot of them, I have to say why what I'm doing is completely novel, which means that I can get a couple tens of K over here to fund Vesta mappers, because that's what it actually costs. And then I can get another couple of tens of Ks to do, we're getting ready to work on Mars mappers. But the overall costs of keeping the servers turned on day after day after day for our forums, of keeping our blogs going, which isn't novel or presenting research, the costs of all of those stupid things that just require a few people but are what keep the community going, you can't find infrastructure costs anywhere.
No.
And so that's where I'm killing myself, is trying to find the infrastructure costs.
Yep. Wow. So, yeah. Well, I don't know.
Thanks for bringing us down, Pete.
Okay, so on to a brighter note. 365 Days of Astronomy.
Yes.
That is a really cool project.
That was so last year. No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, it was so 2009.
No, but it was really cool.
And it's still going.
Yeah.
That is what's cool. I cannot believe I still see things for that. Yeah.
So Aviva Yamani is our day-to-day producer. She is a fabulous astronomer down in Indonesia who is wrangling podcasters. And every day a new show comes out, kind of like clockwork. And next year is the International Year of Light, 2015, and we're going to be putting a slash through that word astronomy and scribbling the word light on top of it. And we're going to keep going and keep bringing you more science and just focus a little bit more on the lightness and darkness next year.
Cool. Awesome. And all the links for all this stuff is
So that'll include the sun. I mean, I'm not kidding around, but that'll include basically a lot of stuff involving the sun and,
Yes.
and stars and things like that.
Sun, light.
That's awesome. You know,
You're what?
I'm thinking like with you're familiar with Stephen Ramsden, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we interviewed him, and I think, I don't know why I just have to bridge people who we have on the show, and it's like him, name drop. But
He's like a good buddy of
he
ours.
might be something cool to do a little project with, because we always the work that he does is amazing too. So
Yeah, I talked with him. I was just talking with him today. As a matter of fact,
Cool.
like over Facebook, but
Mhm.
we communicate.
That's how we talk nowadays.
Yeah,
Someone
right.
says talk,
Yes.
they probably mean text message.
All right, so
Right.
I want to give Pamela a chance to get out of business mode here and talk some geek stuff. Has anybody else got any other astronomy questions before we move on?
Isn't her business mode geek stuff?
Yeah,
Well,
it is.
but
I'm okay with that.
I'm gonna roll right out of this, and just like right into just straight up geek stuff. Nothing to do with astronomy. Sorry.
Right on.
So I noticed in your notes that you are a ginormous, and I think I've seen you in the cosplay of Battlestar Galactica.
Yes, it's true, and you probably have.
So what is it about Battlestar Galactica that made you such a fan? What was what turned you onto that so strongly?
So I have to admit, I actually, when I was an itty bitty small child, was deeply in love with the original Battlestar Galactica series, and when I was in elementary school, I actually read all the novels, and then when Richard Hatch started writing new books when I was in university, I read those, and then the new series came out, and I was like, holy shit, Starbuck's a girl, wait, this is cool.
Oh yeah.
And the naming...
I have to ask, Buck Rogers though. Come on, where did he fare in the old school?
I did watch Buck Rogers. The discontinuity when they went from being Earth focused to being on the spaceship, and Hawk,
Hawk.
dude with the feathers.
Wait,
It was
wasn't that Flash Gordon?
No. No, Brian. There were Hawkmen.
Don't you dare!
There were Hawkmen and Flash Gordon, but there was a guy.
named Hawk.
Yeah.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
evolved, like eagles on Earth, or hawks in this case, evolved to this new thing, and these
Like an anthropomorphized hawk.
not even just like evolved into
Right.
dude, and
And of course his name was Hawk, because that.
right.
Yeah. What a coincidence.
And this just bothered me because evolution doesn't work that way. And so I was a small child. I was that kind of a small child that got annoyed easily. And then they had a sex pot running an empire.
Right. Oh
Like,
yeah.
constantly
That's right.
getting oiled. And rulers don't do that because bureaucracy. And yeah.
So.
I mean, that's what it looked like if I ran an empire.
Right.
You can bring me my peeled grapes and my nubile slaves with the fans.
Oh my God, Allegra, that would be like the dream job for you, because you could have them make all kinds of crazy outfits for you. How cool would that be?
Oh yeah, I'd be like, okay, so where's my Queen of Blades cosplay? Servants, excuse me.
Yeah, I don't know if Pamela, I don't know if you know this, but Allegra's like a huge cosplayer, and she does some
Let's
really
not
good
use the word
stuff.
huge.
Well, no, huge as in no. Oh, come on.
No,
Phenomenal.
I meant like don't oversell it. Don't oversell it. Just like Allegra's, she does some stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Your costumes actually resemble something versus mine, which are I'm going to throw this stuff together and call it Alien Warrior Woman.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
She does a great job. She really does.
Um,
When we ever get to see her at a con,
Yeah, I know, right?
which is very rare these days.
right, because
You guys need to
But
come
the-
to Balticon. Cheaper, smaller, better.
Oh, they're
yeah,
smaller. So like,
that's
if you're
small.
giving directions to like tell someone where to find you, you could probably tell them the right location.
oh
Yes.
yeah, like the pulse bar,
Yes.
like
No,
yeah.
don't
Yeah.
even start, Pete.
Pulse bar on the third level.
On the-
Pete,
on the
you're the
overhead.
exact kind of person who wouldn't be in charge of driving the satellite.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I drive it right into that fucking thing.
No,
Pow! What the
Believe
hell
me.
What did we just hit?
he would not only get it lost, he he'd get so angry at it, he'd probably smash it before it got anywhere where it needed to be anyway. So.
I'm gonna run it into the space elevator because I hate it.
Fuck this satellite. We didn't need this one anyway. Oh my god, that's our like geocommunications for our flight or something.
So for Battlestar Galactica, the new series, I
Yeah.
really liked how gritty it was. I liked I liked the some people were like, oh, it's like a soap opera. I was like, yeah, but it kind of makes it interesting.
Deeply flawed,
Yeah.
like real humans, unlike the whole Star Trek universe.
Yeah, exactly. But what I didn't like was the ending. How did you feel
Yeah,
about
no one
that?
did. Worst last episode ever, even compared to Dexter.
Don't
It was a
spoil it.
literal Deus Ex Machina.
I just
All
yeah,
this time, it was actually God.
you're right. I basically I do this. Oh yeah, I love Battlestar Galactica. The last what? I didn't see the last 15 minutes. Didn't see him.
Never happened.
Never happened.
Yes.
Did not happen.
Yes. Favorite bit of random Battlestar Galactica sort of related trivia. I was at Pensacon last year and ended up in the green room with Richard Hatch, who is awesome to talk education with, which I had never expected. And I found myself explaining to him what Apollo asteroids are because it was an Apollo asteroid that came in over the city of Chelyabinsk. So to explain Apollo asteroids to Apollo is perhaps one of my greatest geek
Oh
moments.
my god, that is
I'm
like
jealous.
so meta.
I'm really jealous.
Stop! You just over it right now.
All right, so because I don't want to go too late. Blah blah blah. What is your favorite good science film? So a film that got the science right, that is your favorite.
Oh man.
Does one exist?
Oh, I like.
Say weird
They
science.
do. No,
Say
they do.
weird science.
I like. For me, I like Moon. I thought Moon was awesome.
Didn't see that.
Good movie.
What about The Core? What about The Day After Tomorrow?
Oh, come on,
Oh.
stop. That's my next
So,
question.
like,
That's my next question.
TV shows, it's
Weird science.
Firefly and Battlestar Galactica both did a pretty good job with getting their science right. But I think I probably don't watch enough movies to actually give a really good answer to that. And I'm also someone who's constantly asked to watch bad movies so I can be very angry at them.
Okay, so
This amuses others.
You gonna watch Interstellar?
that looks good.
Yeah.
Christopher
Maybe.
Nolan sci-fi flick about the first manned interstellar mission.
I know Extant keeps making my head spin and I yell at the screen. And if you ever watch Star Trek Enterprise with me, I yell at it units on a regular basis.
So
To quote George Takei, way to kill the franchise, Bakula.
so what is your favorite?
Enterprise was genuinely atrocious, though. Like, on so many levels.
They would do things like have the spacecraft just a few tens of meters apart dropping out of light speed.
Right. Like, of course. What's wrong with that? What? So in that vein, what is your favorite bad science film? So like a film that gets the science horrible, but you still like it anyway.
Oh.
Star Trek: The Final
Man.
Frontier.
We all know mine.
Are you going to say Armageddon?
No. But that's
Oh,
horrible. But that's not
that
my
was-
favorite.
Good one.
That was horrible.
No, my favorite, and I don't know if it
Yeah.
qualifies as science fiction, but I'm gonna go for it. The 1980s Flash Gordon. I love it. I don't know why. It's so horrible. It's so terrible. But it's like my favorite.
But that's not on your list of worst movies.
No. This
That's
is your
your favorite movie.
No, this is your favorite bad movie. Your favorite movie that gets the science all
okay.
wrong.
So I think at a certain level, MacGyver hits that category because the shit MacGyver does not work that consistently well that quickly. It is science fiction as far as I'm concerned, and I loved it.
Right. I guess.
Pretender is a similar vein.
And for some people, I guess Star Wars would fall into that. I mean, it's the science. Is just,
Star Wars is so space opera-y. Like I don't think it even.
Yeah,
not even really like touches the science category.
Yeah, I guess so. Fair enough.
It falls into the magic fantasy category with the Force, and I'm ignoring metachlorines. They don't exist along with the last.
Of course not.
15
Yeah,
minutes.
they didn't happen.
What was that strange word you just used? I've never heard of it.
Never heard that word.
Exactly.
I thought, and I'm wondering.
Never happened.
All right, so maybe one of my favorite sci-fi movies, and maybe this falls in that category because maybe the science is that bad on it. But did you ever see the movie Sunshine?
That's a good movie.
It's a great movie.
Is that the one with the planet that doesn't have sunshine, and the kids like
Mm-mm.
side
It's a
and has
mission
to
to
stand
the-
in front of the lights?
It's a mission to the sun. It had Chris Evans in it. It's a very interesting movie.
The sun.
They're not good, but the rest of the movie was pretty good.
The sun is kind of like dying, not dying, but its power output is starting to go down, and they have to jumpstart it now.
And this is different from Core. How?
Yes. Okay, I'll tell you. Well, I'll tell you. The one thing they did that I thought was smart. This was the only way to do it. They did not explain the science on how they were going to jumpstart the sun. As a matter of fact, they took pains in the movie to say that the physicist guy, they were asking him, he's like, well, how does this work? He's like, we're not really sure. It's and apparently it's some physics that does not exist in our time yet. It's something we will discover in about 50 years, but we don't understand it. It's like, it's so kind of out there. And he's like, well, will it work? He's like, I don't know. He's like, I don't know if it's going to work.
It's our only option.
It's our only option, so we're going to do it. And
It's like the red stuff in Star Trek. You just don't question Vulcan's destroyed.
So, but I thought that was the only way to do it, because if you say, oh yeah, we're going to drop a nuclear bomb into the sun and get it working again, it's like, oh, come on. But they don't even try to explain it. So I thought that was the smartest way to do it.
It's like putting a grenade in a furnace.
Right.
That's a horrible idea.
All right.
But it's a really big grenade.
Hang on, guys. I think my heat went out. I'm gonna go just throw a couple like grenades in there. Get that going.
Yeah.
So
dynamite, maybe.
Turn the sun up, will ya?
So before we move on to the second part of this show, because it's getting late, just one last question that I have is, what science fiction, fantasy / superhero, that vein of movie are you looking forward to? Like what is your what movie coming up in the sort of fantastic genre are you looking forward to?
So I have to admit, I love all of these new Marvel movies, and I really want to see Scarlett Johansson get her own Black Widow movie.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yes.
I want to learn her backstory more, and there's so many places they haven't gone, and she is so good at playing the kick-ass, I will beat you up with the chair you tied me to kind of character.
Sure. Oh yeah, I think.
But also like with a surprisingly like touching like sense of humor and like how she looks out for her teammates and her little Hawkeye necklace.
Yeah.
And you know what? I feel so bad for the guy Hawkeye. I mean, as bad as I do for her, because they seem to be shunning the both of them, right?
Yeah.
That I would be okay if they even put the two of them together in a movie, just so long as she was like a major part of the movie. You know, I would be even okay if they had to share it with Hawkeye, just because I feel like he's been slighted as well.
They can cover Hawkeye in the Budapest section, and then
and then just leave him off. Right? Okay, I'm fine with that. I'm good with that.
The Black Widow movie.
Right, I'm good with that. You know,
I think she.
Here's a thought. Make a movie starring a female character, female hero, and the male hero is kind of like the secondary character.
The sidekick.
I mean, you know, they never do that, but that would be. Well, I think they could.
The Watchmen. There's so many powerful women characters in that. Now, admittedly, they did all of Watchmen in one movie.
Sure.
That was intense.
Yeah. We could have done a series, folks, but okay.
That's pretty much my favorite superhero movie.
I always like when it comes to adaptations of any form of like book, novel, whatever. Like I'm always like TV show better than movie.
Right.
Yeah, because
you can milk the cash cow so much longer that way, guys.
When I called you?
Yeah, but Arrow keeps leaving me sad. I don't quite know why.
I haven't seen it
stopped
yet.
watching it. I
So-
kind of,
Me too.
I don't know. I just sort of fell out of it.
Hey, remember when we were watching I
Field is
was
fine.
watching The Watchmen,
Yeah.
and I called you, and I'm like, what am I supposed to think about Watchmen? I'm not liking this, right? And he's like, no, you're liking it. I'm like, I am? Because I'm not liking it. He's like, you're thinking you were sitting down to watch an adventure movie, weren't you? I'm like, or an action movie. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, no, change gears. He's like, downshift to cerebral. I'm like, okay. I did. And yeah. And then I watched the rest of it. I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it.
I was like, you're watching a movie that has a lot of social commentary. This is a cerebral movie. You can't. It's not a superhero movie. It's not even a superhero movie. It's masked as a superhero movie. And once he did that,
I see what you did there.
masked. Yeah, okay. All right. So that's all I have, and we're getting a little late on time. So if you are ready, Mike, do we have a game ready for tonight?
Yes, we do. While I'm gonna hopefully post the link in YouTube. Everyone, if you haven't already done so, load up YouTube, and let's just pray that this link and everything should be fine.
So Pamela, if you go up there and activate your YouTube.
Live.
I don't know if you've ever done this in Google Hangouts or not. It's up on your left-hand side. It's the little red square with the white triangle in it.
Yeah.
Just click on that.
I've never done this.
Oh, this is cool. This is why we
exciting.
use Google Hangouts. One of the big reasons why
This
we
is how I learn how many
Geek
Google
pop
accounts
culture.
I have linked.
Okay, that's weird.
All right, so I'm going to go down here.
Opening YouTube. Welcome to YouTube in Hangouts. Okay.
All right, so Mike is going to get that video ready. Right, Mike?
Yes, should. Let's see. I do that, and I do that, and I hit that.
This is live
And then
television, folks.
I do that, and it should. Everyone's watching, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's a push to talk button.
Oh.
Yes. So, okay. Before we start, let me just educate you just a little bit. When I hit play, everyone gets muted. Now we're going to be playing a game. It's called, obviously, Bet the Geek. Let me explain a little bit ahead of time. You are going to see a particular person. I'm going to save the exact person because you know them, Pamela. I'm going to save the exact geek who is going to be portrayed in the video. You're going to watch them answer some questions. You're going to be able to see them answer 3 questions, and then we'll go on to them answering and being asked another question where you will have to decide, are they going to get that question right or wrong? And you will start with a bank of 6 points. You may bet up to 3 points at any time if they are going to get that question right or wrong. You can bet into the pository or the negatory. Now, there is one time in the questions where they will be asked to list up to 6 things. You may bet up to 6 points of how many of the item within the question they are going to, be able to identify. You feel okay? Now, there's a little credit that rolls, and then we'll kind of meet the geek, and I think you'll fall into it. It'll be pretty easy, okay?
It's easier than he's explaining it.
Yeah, but when I don't explain it, it seems all like, okay, here we go.
Okay.
I am Michael Cafis here with the MythWits, and I am here with unbelievably awesome author Scott Sigler. It is your fault that I got here late today,
My fault.
because I'm still listening to Pandemic, and it was like 4:30 in the morning, and I'm just like,
Freaks one's balls right out. It's a ball freaker.
I left them home today.
Yep.
What are you writing when
Right
you're
now-
not here playing, Cube of Death?
Finishing up The Champion, which is book 5 in the Galactic Football League series, which is our YA series. American Pro Football League, 700 years in the future, with aliens playing different positions based on their physiology. Super fun, super awesome. Champion is book 5, and hopefully I'll be out in September.
So, I have heard so many people say this. I've just been doing a little,
Yeah.
detective work myself. I'm letting
Okay.
you know that the masses have been asking when you're going to get back to the crypt.
Hopefully we finish up Champion, then we write Alive, which is a new book trilogy for Del Rey. Then hopefully we get to the Crypt at that point. Finish up Crypt Book 1, write Crypt Book 2, start getting mountain podcasting again, and that should be pretty fun.
Awesome.
It's going to be very messed up stuff.
It is.
Yes.
It usually is.
It's going to be
It always
really twisted. You won't even like me when you read it. You won't. I admit it. I'm going to lose all my friends, most of my hair, my dog, probably my house.
Sounds good.
Well, I started on it already.
Okay.
I already started on it.
I will be with you till the end, my friend.
All right.
All right, just going to do a stop real quick right here. So, yes, it's Scott Sigler. And just anyone who's watching or any of you guys who may be questioning, wait a minute, didn't we already do this one? This is part 2. We've already done a Scott Sigler one, but it was Scott Sigler part 1. Now we're doing Scott Sigler part 2. And yes, the primer round, for those of you who have already seen it, and I actually did a gag reel, or a, what is that called? A
blooper reel or whatever.
blooper reel at the end of this, so we've already seen that too, but it was so good I had to see it again anyway, so I put it in the video. All right, here we go. Primer round.
Here we go. This one is toys and games.
All right.
All right. What 80s video game has the hero atop an ostrich with a lance?
Joust.
Joust is correct. This is a comics.
Okay.
How did Captain Marvel die?
Meteor.
Cancer.
That's a shitty superhero.
Okay, games and toys. According to the standard rules database, what happened?
I didn't know if you know who that is or not, Pamela. Did you know who that was? That's
No.
the great Gary Gygax correcting me for misquoting in the video what that was. Just had to throw that in there. Okay.
Okay.
If a portable hole is placed within a bag of holding, it's a D&D, just in case you...
Portable hole is placed within a bag of holding. I'm going to say they cancel each other out.
If by canceling each other out you mean it opens a gate to the astral plane, you'd be right. But
That's what I meant.
That's what it sounded like.
yes, I know.
Okay, so now you get a chance to see basically how Scott has answered at least 3 questions. There will be 5 questions now, and again, you have 6 points. Question number 1, you'll hear the question, we'll pause, we will make our wagers. Yeah, here we go.
All right, comics. I think this is here's a softball. What,
All right.
What inner demon does Tony Stark battle with?
All right.
Okay.
I don't want to hear anything about it, Allegra, you're first.
What? No, don't make her go first. Stop it. Stop it. No, you
She
no.
she went last time, now she goes first.
No, let her go second.
It's fine. I already read
Are
her
you
name
sure
down.
we didn't do this one already? It seems
I am
strangely
sure.
familiar.
No, it's the same question, but we
No.
asked somebody else.
Okay. I'm gonna go 2 points for wrong.
2 points for wrong. Allegra usually is pretty good at this.
Not as good as Pete.
All right, Mr. Bryan.
I'm gonna go 3 points. He gets it right.
Whoa.
All right, that's a 3 points right. Miss Pamela.
Uh-oh, I think she's frozen. Is she there? Hello, Pam?
Oh yeah, she does look kind of frozen.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
No, no, no,
Oops.
no.
I scared her away with my
Oh, it's
game.
such a great expression though. I never freeze in such great expressions. Look at that.
Uh-oh. Oh,
The
shit.
game was too intense.
No! No, 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 no.
Are they really making me do this?
Maybe her
You can get
computer went into
back.
hibernation.
Maybe I was gonna say maybe there was an astronomy emergency going on.
Astronomy emergency. Astronomy emergency.
You see,
Alpha from Power Rangers. He starts messing.
Oh, she's
Oh,
back.
she's back.
She's
She's
back.
back. She's back.
Hello.
Yay.
Sorry. Whoa, wrong button.
Um,
What are you looking at? Ah, okay, working
it's
to
your
figure out
computer.
new device.
Oh.
So I had a power flicker. I'm back
Uh-oh.
on my phone.
Oh,
My
crap. Okay.
computer's booting back up.
Okay.
All right.
What, did I freeze now?
No, you're good.
Just not there.
Just slightly.
A little bit.
All right.
Mike, as long as we can see you, you're fine.
I'm fine.
Yeah, because we're gonna be watching the video. We don't need to see your face.
Yeah, other than the
That's
fact that I can't.
I love live.
You just asked such an awesome question that I lost power.
Everyone else is. Oh, look at this.
What?
Stark Industries is trying to show us down. You cannot slander our client.
Right.
What Mr. Stark deals with is personal. You should not be bringing this to the general public.
Robert Downey's like, hey guys, seriously.
Oh, I wish it was Robert Downey Jr. Oh.
Oh, okay, Pamela, your computer's back on.
Yeah, I'm currently trying to figure out where the Hulu window is that I need to kill.
Okay.
I believe I have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. playing along with this.
Of course it would be Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Wow, I need to catch up on that.
So, Mike? Are you there, Mike?
Nope.
Oh, this is killing me.
This is too long. I'm gonna start
Stark
like
Industries? No. S.H.I.E.L.D. maybe. Hydra definitely.
Hail Hydra. Oh, all right. So while we're waiting for Mike to get back up, we were painting our bathroom because we're selling our house, put it on the market, and I had to pull the cabinet off the wall to get the wallpaper down and paint the wall. So while I had the medicine cabinet out of the wall, there's like a cavity in there where you put the medicine cabinet in. I drew the Hydra symbol and put Hail Hydra in there, so that the next person who takes that cabinet off, will find my message to them. And they won't know what the hell. They're gonna be like, "What is this? What is Hail Hydra?" So no Mike yet. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Mike. Oh, there goes Pamela again. Holy moly.
Womp, 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 womp.
We are having all kinds of technical difficulties at the moment, folks. Don't worry, we'll get it back online. Mike, hello?
So in the meantime, did anybody watch the League of Legends World Championships this weekend?
No. What's going on with that?
Oh, well, it was the World Championships, and they're over now.
Okay.
You should have watched them.
It kind of sums it up.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I'd like to say that like you missed a really exciting like edge of your seat nail biter of a game, but honestly, Korea rolled China over and spanked them silly for 3 games out of 5. So.
Okay.
Yeah. America did not even have a dog in the race. We got knocked out.
Wow.
A long time ago. But we tried.
All right, have we got everybody? We got Pamela. We got Mike. All right. Okay, so let's go. So Pamela, did you see the last thing that Scott was asked?
If it was the what does Tony Stark struggle with? Yes.
That's it. Okay.
So what do you think he's gonna answer? I mean,
do you think he's gonna get it right or wrong?
I think he's gonna get it right, but I'll only gamble 4 points.
Well, up to 3.
Oh, then I'll gamble 3 points.
Okay.
3 points correct. Peter.
Mike, I think I'm gonna spend 2 points on him getting it right.
2 points right. Okay.
I'm recording right now.
What inner demon
I'll come
does
say
Tony
goodnight.
Stark battle with? Bitches and hoes, man. Bitches and
I
hoes.
think he missed the mute button.
Alcoholism.
Okay.
Not everybody knew that.
Nope, I guess not.
That was adorable.
Oh crap.
All right, so that's Allegra. Allegra for 8.
Yeah.
Brian for 3 is down to 3 points. Pamela down to 3 points.
Got
Peter.
the Captain Marvel question wrong.
Mike, I thought we start with. Do we start with 5? I thought
No,
it
we
was
start
10.
with 6 points.
6.
Nope.
6.
6
Oh,
points.
6. Okay. Crap. Okay.
Wait, did you just play a YouTube video while I instead heard Baron saying that he was recording and going to come say goodnight to somebody?
I think so.
Okay, that was highly confusing.
Okay.
Yet delightful.
So Scott said bitches and hoes, and
Oh.
Oh, that's why you thought it was adorable.
okay.
Yes. What I heard was instead.
Brian, did you forget to mute when you did that?
And whatever. You know what's going on right now, so I have to be on top of it.
Something tells me that number 2 is going to go a lot smoother. But
It
who
has
am
to,
I?
by definition.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, seriously.
Here we go.
Okay, here we go. Games and toys.
Okay.
In Monopoly, you can purchase the B&O Railroad. What does B&O stand for? Hint, it's not body odor.
B-N-O?
Yes.
All right. Allegra.
I'm gonna go 2 for wrong.
2 for wrong.
I don't know what it is.
Sir Baron.
I'm gonna go 1 for wrong.
1 for wrong. Pamela.
I'm going to go 2 for wrong.
2 for wrong.
Just a small petty bet.
Penny Annie. And Mr. Bryant.
Look, dude, I'm saying 3 for wrong because he's saying I'm watching it and he said B-N-O. Like I don't think he realizes it's B and O. So
Right.
I don't see how he could possibly get it right. But watch it, fucker will pull it off.
If he gets it right, everyone's gonna be very upset.
We're gonna be hurting. So I'm gonna go 3 wrong. I'm gambling.
You know how you guys hate me.
Yes. Oh no.
I'll give you another hint.
Okay, I'll take
You're
it.
in it right now.
Occasionally, Pamela. What I do here is if the video presents itself to have an opportunity for people to reconsider based on something they may see before the answer is revealed, like thusly, we have an opportunity. So, Allegra, would you like to rescind, change, or keep your answer?
I think I'm gonna downgrade to maybe just no. I don't know. God, why do you do this? Why do you do this? I'm so happy with my answer. This is like psychological torture. You're just making me have like buyer's remorse for no reason.
Hey, you guys get to have fun playing the game. I get to have fun playing the game. Okay.
When do we have fun playing the game? We just get tortured, and then Pete wins.
Not always. Not
Oh,
always.
no way.
Didn't you win last time?
I don't know.
No, I'm like, didn't Allegra win
I
last
think
time?
Allegra won last time.
Yeah, really.
I don't think so.
Back to the archives, anyways.
Okay.
So, what is the B and O?
Well, the answer will be revealed to you, but that's not the point right now. The point is, do you think he knows what the B and O, that he is in it right now?
I'm gonna go with 1 for wrong.
All of it correct.
1 for wrong.
He's
Well,
gotta
yeah,
get
the
all-
answer is right. Basically, he was given a small hint, so that thus changed, could potentially change the outcome, which is why I give you a chance to reconsider.
I'm sticking with my answer.
Okay,
That O is
Ron?
difficult.
you sticking?
1 for getting it right.
Oh shit!
Getting it right.
Step
Just a tiny baby bet.
Fuck. All right, so I'm
I
going-
literally flipped a coin to make that decision, by the way.
You know what? I want to stay in the game, so I'm gonna downgrade mine to 1, but I'm still gonna say he's gonna get it wrong.
1 for getting it wrong. Okay, here we go.
Do I have to make you go away?
I'll say the B stands for Baltimore. All right.
Any idea what the O is for? I'm watching you.
Orlando,
Close. Ohio.
Ohio. That's closer than Orlando.
Well,
What a city!
close to that quarter.
That has always disturbed me. It should be state and state or city and city, not city to state.
That is correct.
The logical incontinuity.
That is Monopoly. Okay, so Allegra with 9. Brian with changing his answer is now down to 2.
Oh shit!
Pamela went with getting it wrong, so she's up to 5, and Peter is up to 5. So it is.
She's stuck with my 3. Damn it!
Yeah, Allegra hates the game, but she's winning.
You know, it's gonna
Four
look
points.
like I'm winning, but Somehow, in the last round, people come out of nowhere and just clock me upside the head.
This is why I love this. It's anyone's game. Here we go. Question number 3.
Comics. What did Spider-Man bring home from the first Secret Wars?
Hint. It wasn't body odor. Allegra?
I'm going to go 3 for... Wait.
3 for wait.
If he says wait, he gets 3 points.
I'm going to go... Does he have to get it, like, totally correct, or can he get it, like, technically correct?
If you see a check mark, he technically and totally gets it correct. If you see a red X, he technically and totally got it wrong. If you want to get technical. Or totally.
Gosh, he's not been doing well.
And just so you know, he is a total geek.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go 1 for right.
1 for right.
I believe in you, Scott Sigler.
It's not the first time he's let you down.
No, last time was pretty spectacularly bad, if I remember. I think I still owe him like a sneaky review on Goodreads.
That's right.
You know what? 2 that he gets it wrong.
Oh, all in.
First Captain Marvel, now Tony Stark. I swear to God, if he knows Peter Parker, I'm gonna lose my shit. You will see me lose my shit on live camera.
I'm gonna go 3 for right.
All right.
All right, I won't lose my shit.
Tremendous faith.
Pete?
Guy that's gotten all the questions wrong.
See, now you know what I'm going through. It's like, he got those wrong, but...
But how could he not? How could he get the... You know what? I'm going to go 2 for right.
2 for right. Okay.
Oh, God.
Here it comes. You ready?
No.
I'm going to hit the button now.
Play it.
The suit that would become Venom.
Very good.
I knew it.
Somebody fell for my trappings. Fell into my web, if you will.
Brian, where are... Oh, I see what you did
Brian,
there.
is there anything you want to say right now?
No.
Have you
I'll be keeping score as you lose your shit, Brian. Go ahead.
No, because, to be honest, saw it coming a mile away.
Oh, did you?
Did you?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Yet,
I
you
knew.
bet wrong, sir. You bet wrong.
Can we give him some pity points? I think
Why?
he's out of the game.
No. Unlike most men my age, I will take defeat like a man.
Good. You'll also take a goose egg. Pamela.
That's good.
You have. Oh, I'm sorry. You have. Let's see. That was. You bet 3. That puts you up at the 8. And Peter puts you at 7.
Yes, sir.
So it's a closer game now. Brian, I'm giving you 1 pity point. Just as the DM decides to give you 1 pity point. Use it wisely.
All right.
Here we go. Number 4.
All right. Here's a classic board games question. This is another 6-item list.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you to name the 6 characters from the original American version of the board game Clue.
So this, as I stated, was one of those ones where you can bet up to 6 points in order to receive 6 points in return. However, if you bet, let's say, 3 points, and he only gets 2 correct, you get 0 points. But you don't get any points taken away. This is one where you can only gain points if you get the correct answer. Isn't that right, Pete?
No.
So
you lose points.
do I have to guess how many he gets correct?
That is correct.
No, hold on, wait. It's not exact number. It's that many or more.
Or more. That is correct. That many or more. So if you want to go safe, you say, I'm going to say 2, or I'm going to say 1 because you don't want to overstep.
But So the idea, the game theory behind this is that the lower you go, the more chance you have of winning, but the least amount of points you make. The higher you go, the more chance of points you'll get, but the less chance you have of winning. That's just how it works. But you do lose points if you get it, whatever you get wrong.
So if I say he's going to get 3 or more correct.
That's right.
If he gets 3 or more, you get 3.
Yep.
Okay. If I say he's going to get 3 correct and 3 wrong, full stop, can I bet 6?
Ooh.
Ooh. Wait a minute. Yeah, run that by me again.
A wrench in the machine.
It's not where she's betting exactly 3.
Oh, no, you mean not.
No.
I say no.
I'm going to go with 3.
All right, Pamela goes for 3. And Allegra?
I'm gonna go 5.
Allegra's going 5. And Brian?
He surprised us before.
Yes, he has. Surprised and disappointed.
So Brian's going to go with 1.
Yeah, Brian's going with 1. 1 or more, Brian. Good for you.
Yeah.
And Pete?
I'm going to say... this is my chance to get ahead.
Do it, Pete.
It's my chance to get ahead. I'm going to say 4.
4.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I'm either gonna make it or break it on this one.
Remember the movie Revenge of the Nerds? Remember Flounder when he's like, "This is gonna be great."
Revenge of the Nerds. That's Animal House.
Oh, that is Animal House. Oh, geez.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I
I just
do.
did
That wrong.
Sorry. Yeah, that was okay. Sorry. Moving on.
Oh, Jesus. No way.
Jesus
Professor
was.
Plum.
Here's a clue. Jesus was not in there.
There's Professor Plum and a bunch of other unemployed idiots. They're between jobs. Their time is their own. Yeah.
You got any other?
That's it.
You're getting plum. Okay, that's 1. Congratulations.
Oh.
Scott Singer, you absolute trash can. You didn't even try.
By default, Brian gets a point.
What about in the library
See,
with General Mustard?
It's all
Colonel
super
Mustard.
easy names to remember. Like, how do you not know? Oh
I
my
gave him a
God.
promotion. He has a
Oh my
promotion
God.
in my universe.
Well, Scott didn't get a promotion in this game.
No, he did not.
All right, so this
Every
really,
time I believe in him, he does this to me.
See, I was actually gonna go just 1 because everyone remembers Professor Plum.
I didn't.
Everyone.
Colonel Mustard.
In the library with a candlestick. It was the commercial.
Okay, so at the end,
Peacock, come
Well,
on.
he probably remembered it because Christopher Lloyd played him in the Clue movie.
I don't think I ever saw that.
well, the mountain leads have been leveled. The score is Allegra 3, Brian 2, which is not that bad of a lead or a deficit, Brian, believe it or not, because Pamela with 5 and Pete with 3.
3.
So you see how this works, Pamela? You actually are still in the lead. All right. Here we go.
What is the name of Doctor Who's robot dog?
God.
I don't even believe in Scott anymore, so.
Hey, I had
don't
the
think
same. I had the
he's
same
Whovian.
mentality. I had the same mentality with that Spider-Man question. Oh my God.
All right.
I don't think he's Whovian.
Okay,
you don't think he's a
Allegra.
Whovian?
I'm gonna go 1 wrong.
1
Because I mean,
wrong.
there's still a chance. Like, wait, I have to ask a question.
Okay.
Is he a dad?
No.
No, he owns a dog,
Okay.
Yeah, he's
All right,
the
I'm
father
gonna
of
go.
the dog.
Yeah,
but it's not a
wrong.
robotic dog.
Right.
So
I'm
Or
gonna go
what's
1
worse.
wrong.
Oh.
I feel like there's a chance that you could wing it and guess the name, but
Brian,
it's got a special sign right now.
I suggest you bet the farm, Brian. But which direction? That is the question, Brian.
The question is, has he seen a cosplay of it that would be why he remembers?
Okay.
Oh man.
Master. Master.
Incoming message, master.
Okay. I'm gonna tread lightly and bet one that he gets it right.
One for correcto. Pamela.
2 for wrong.
2 for wrong. Eater.
Fuck it. 3 that he gets it right. Fuck it. I'm betting the farm.
Betting the farm on correct. All right. This shouldn't take long.
K9.
Very good.
See, I
You
knew
got
it.
simpler.
I learned, thanks to Spider-Man, I learned, okay, just cause.
Yeah, right?
Okay. It's like,
And oh, God.
Hand sign for you, Scott, whenever you see this episode.
Oh man! Wait till we have him on the
hold
show.
Let me
Allegra's gonna
let
go
me
to
get the
town.
camera on you. Put that back up, Allegra. Hold on. Put that back up. All right.
Nice.
All right. So Mike,
All
what is the final score?
he is a wild card. Straight up wild card. It is disgustingly crazy.
Was he as bad as Ben?
Well, let me play. I'm gonna play you guys the outtakes, and I'll tally the scores. All right?
Okay.
All right.
I saw that.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, she's trying to be a ringer.
Are you kidding me? I'm a chemist. I'm a chemist. Second question. Fucking A.
I told you you'd know more of these.
Cube of Death? That's not the right initials.
Do I have to make you go away?
I'll say the B stands for Baltimore.
Gee. I'm gonna say you got that from my wonderful hit and not from her. Jesus Christ on a crutch. I heart Uranus. That, again, I heart Uranus. Okay, we are playing Cube of Death.
Cube of Death.
Did you sign the waivers? You do know what happens when you get an answer wrong, correct?
Absolutely.
All
I
right.
signed all the waivers. Didn't read the waivers, but I signed the waivers.
The Eula. Are you
Okay.
not a Princess Bride fan?
No.
Get out of here! That's right. Sci-fi.
Is this a mystery machine back here? You guys, is that working?
Oh, I'm pretty sure it is. We haven't tried it, but I'm
Oh,
sure.
okay.
Yeah, I've heard.
Okay.
My hero. All right, thank you for playing Bet the Geek. Bet the Geek is based on Peter Bryan's Cube of Death. If more information on how to purchase Cube of Death, go to bit.ly/COD game for more on COD and how to purchase, and catch the MythWits right about now. And that is how you play Bet the Geek.
All right. So Mike, tally. What's the tally? We need to know.
Oh!
Yeah,
you,
how about that?
Sure you want to know the score? Really? I mean,
Repeat one.
I don't think we need to hear it, honestly. It's kinda-
everybody wins.
Points
You
are-
get
Yay!
You get a win. I'm Oprah today.
Do I get a NASA grant?
Okay.
Do we all have a NASA grant under our cars?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
We're
so-
giving away NASA grants.
Yes, there's a NASA grant under your seat. Okay, so Allegra, you were left with 2 points. Who Allegra evidently was beat out by Brian, who came back from a big donut to amass a score of 3
Donuts.
late in the game. And Pamela, you end up with a strong 3 as well. Peter, you took it away again.
Dude, I was
With
totally
6 points.
I was totally losing. How the
You see? You see. I'm never playing poker with you.
Allegra, were you like this as a child too? It's like, I don't want to play with you. You always win.
and look, I honestly did not see any of the stuff that Mike filmed, and I have not seen any of the resulting film. I was in another part of. I was in the bar when he was filming that, and he hides the videos from me.
Yeah,
So
they're
it's all
in a
good.
separate
The
folder when I
silence
edit
of
them.
no one believing
And
you.
it's hard for me. It's hard for me because Pete is like my best friend. When I have a really cool video that I've edited, I want to show him first, and I'm like, oh, I can't show him.
Nope. I won't watch it. This game needs to be genuine.
I wanted to show him the outtakes because I was so proud of the outtakes the first time I did them. I was like, you got to see the outtakes. Like, nope, nope, nope.
All right. So that was Bet the Geek.
All right. So we've pretty much kind of already talked about what we're geeking out on. Are we just going to go to the news now?
Let's go to the news. It's late. It's late. Let's go to the news.
Yeah, it is getting late. So I'll just do a quick wrap up.
Okay.
All right, so speaking of science fiction, Scarlett Johansson was recently offered $10 million to play the lead for the Ghost in the Shell adaptation by DreamWorks.
Sweet.
She was just offered $10 million, so there's no confirmation if she took the offer or not, but I really want to see this happen now.
So I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say she's gonna play the major. Awesome.
Like that 10 mil to play the lead, to play a lead for Ghost in the Shell, probably one of the more popular.
Wait a minute, by who though? Who's making this?
Well, hold on, let me see. I know DreamWorks is trying to get this off the ground.
Okay, all right. I trust DreamWorks.
So they haven't really quite announced a director yet, but it is something DreamWorks wants to do.
I trust DreamWorks, but then again, I trusted Disney with John Carter of Mars.
I like John Carter of Mars.
It was good, but the marketing and all that shit.
Not if you're a purist. Not if you're a purist.
Oh,
Anyways,
yes.
Speaking of interesting roles, Tom Hardy was recently approached to play Apocalypse in Bryan Singer's next movie for the First Class trilogy. So that's something I'm definitely interested to see.
Wait a minute, hold on, wait.
Especially since Thomas Hardy is dead and buried in London. And has been for several hundred years. Literary pun that none of you got.
No, we did not. We are.
Thomas Hardy wrote Jude the Obscure and Tess of the D'Urbervilles and a bunch of other books that we were required to read in high school growing up in New England.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Oh, I think Tess of the D'Urbervilles is a little too raunchy for high school in the Bible Belt, so we never covered that one.
Okay.
Hello, Pamela. I'm not really sure I recognize that reference.
I was asked that day, week, year.
Yeah. I honestly think...
Oh, X-Men, so you've come for me.
Okay, fine. I made a terrible joke and it failed miserably.
I appreciated it after the fact because I got Skinny Brownie for
You
it.
wasted highbrow humor on us. That's the problem.
Low frang and hoots.
Low frang and hoots.
I'm not even going to recover that one. Go ahead.
Brian,
Go
next
ahead,
story.
Brian, please.
Okay, so it's another casting rumor. So the front runners for Doctor Strange have finally been narrowed down as representatives for Joaquin Phoenix that he could not play the role. So there are three front runners for this role. And here they are. We have Colin Farrell.
Wait a minute. Go ahead.
Colin Farrell. Benedict Cumberbatch.
Okay, yes.
And the last one, it's gonna be a 50-50 split. I'm gonna hear a lot of screams. Keanu Reeves has been approached by Marvel.
No. He's not Dr. Wood.
Right.
I'm gonna say two words. John Wick. Look it up.
Yes, in the previews for it, we'll see.
He looks interesting. It looks like he's getting better. I think 47 Ronin was the kick in the balls to say, hey, be a fucking serious actor.
like, what are you doing?
I honestly, for me, Keanu Reeves is like an actor I want to see do better.
Right.
I love Bill and Ted. I love The Matrix.
What was it? Dangerous Liaisons that he did 1,000,000 years ago and proved that he actually can act.
Yes.
And then he got sidetracked.
Good John Malkovich movie.
I think he needs like those dog shock collars that have like the remote control. Like just every
time
once
he
in a while. He's like, oh, I don't know. Okay, yeah, all right, I'll act.
Yeah. So it's just nothing but casting news. So Batman vs Superman confirms a new actress, Gina Malone from the upcoming Hunger Games movies, has been cast in Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, and rumors are speculating that she's going to be playing Carrie Kelly, the female Robin. Which goes to say, why the fuck don't they just call this movie Dark Knight Returns?
Right.
It's the same damn thing. If you've seen the Comic-Con footage that got before it got taken down, it's practically Dark Knight Returns. They're just too pretentious to say it.
So,
Again,
so
he returns again.
So I've never seen this the Hunger Games. Is that any good? Anybody seen that? Is there any?
I read it and couldn't bring myself to watch the movie because the book was so good.
Yeah.
The first movie is kind of aggressively bad.
Yeah.
Like, just appallingly mediocre and then just really bad in spots. So, like,
Yeah.
if you enjoy the book or if you like movies, then probably not the first one. But the second one, I felt like really picked it up.
What's really interesting is this news came from a extra who was risking a $5 million lawsuit
Ooh.
to give us this news. So yeah, every time there's rumors for these casting things that later on get confirmed, you realize people can get sued horribly by these things.
And yet they bravely bring us the truth anyway.
Pretty much. So Marvel just gave Robert Downey Jr. a very interesting gift. So during an interview with BBC Radio 1, he was talking about how they were filming the Avengers and he saw the A on Stark's tower after it was destroyed. And jokingly on set he says, I need that in my office in Venice. A couple weeks ago, they literally delivered the A to him. And here's the thing, what makes it so interesting is this is a huge A. It's a 30-foot tall letter A. Because that was
not in his office.
That is not a CGI part of the building. That is a legitimate set they built for that movie, and now he has a 30-foot A in his office somewhere.
Not in his office, near his office.
I know it's near his office.
It's big in office.
He wants to put it in a proper setting near his office. He did mention that in the interview. So there has been some news wrap-ups regarding some upcoming projects. So it looks like we will be seeing the sequel of The Woman in Black, Angel of Death, Daniel Radcliffe's previous movie. However, he will not be in the sequel. Sad face for Harry Potter fanboys. But the movie has been pushed forward to January 2nd, 2015.
I'll live.
Oh no! Oh, that's right. I don't really care.
Oh.
And to change from superheroes to just regular heroes, the Warcraft movie has nabbed the Pacific Rim composer and Game of Thrones composer Ramin Djawadi to do the score for the Warcraft movie. So,
Oh my god.
that's going to be amazing. That's going to be some good music. Because
So good.
it's going to be amazing. We're going to see that in 2016. Ironically, as we mentioned, Moon, Duncan Jones, the director of Moon, is the director of this film.
Ooh.
So that's going to be interesting.
So wait a minute. So Brian, you've seen Moon. I've seen Moon. Has anybody else here seen Moon? Oh God. All right. So if you are a fan of old school sci-fi, like 70s sci-fi, it plays
It's definitely worth
right
watching
into
it.
it. This could have been made
good.
during the 70s
Okay.
with that genre. So good, and it's got my boy.
Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell, yeah, my brain fried there for a second. It's got Sam Rockwell in it, and it's basically he's pretty much the only character in the movie, for the most part. Kevin Spacey plays the voice of the robot that's in it. So good.
It's really good. I really enjoyed it. So, more movie news. Cabin Fever is getting remade. Eli
Why?
Roth said it is getting remade, but here's the thing. There's a weird circumstance. He says they'll remake it only if they use the original script word for word, except with an extra special twist. So
Okay.
that's just something that came up because, the Cabin Fever film already had a couple sequels. We had Cabin Fever 2, Spring Fever back in 2009, and now we had Patient Zero that came out earlier this year. I guess fuck it, we made a mistake. Let's redo it.
No.
Right,
No.
Sony with Spider-Man.
No. Stop redoing shit. Stop remaking stuff. We've got plenty of talented writers out there who have great stories. Stop remaking shit. Make some new stuff.
Are you stealing my soapbox, Pete? Did you
Yes.
steal my soapbox?
Yeah, pretty much.
There's enough of that soapbox to share.
Yeah, I know, right?
Definitely. We have a
You
crate.
see me 1 week. I was
So-
yeah.
There was something really interesting. look, if anyone follows Wes Craven on Twitter, he's been talking about little interesting facts about the origins of Nightmare on Elm Street. All these different little tidbits, like the makeup took 4 hours to apply on Robert Englund's face, or the scene when Johnny Depp dies, they used 500 gallons of blood. He actually talks about the origin of Freddy Krueger, how he got the idea for Freddy Krueger, and it's actually interesting because he got the idea from it says from an LA Times article about a family that has survived the killing fields in Cambodia. And they made it to the United States, but the young boy in the family still found himself haunted by the terrible nightmares while he slept. So that's where he kind of got the idea for this dream murderer, is from a relevant kind of post-traumatic stress this young boy was suffering through. So that's always interesting how really good horror icons can sometimes be conceived from horrible real events.
I'd rather thinking it was just his brain was fucked up. It's somehow much worse that it was inspired by the killing fields.
Yeah.
Well,
So
it still takes a fucked up brain in order to take life and make it imitating life again, you know?
Did I mention that I'm reading Stephen King's The Stand right now?
Okay, you know.
So actually I have two last articles, and as you know, or some don't know, Warner Brothers has announced they are going to do a Suicide Squad movie. So they've been talking about it. They want to kind of do it like a Dirty Dozens kind of villain movie. And right now, there's been some speculation that they're targeting A-list actors to do this. And some of these include Ryan Gosling, Will Smith, Tom Hardy as well, since he did play Bane. And, of course, I just got to scroll down for the list here. So there's actually a pretty decent list. Margot Robbie. That's going to be interesting. Margot Robbie, I think she would do a good job. But that's pretty much interesting how they really want to get A-listers for something part of the DC universe that I don't want to say has a cult following, but it's gotten a lot more popular now thanks to that animated movie Assault on Arkham.
But it's not something like Ocean's 11 where they can just have fun playing pranks on each other on stage while creating fun movies.
Right.
Yeah.
So this could be something interesting.
Real quick, Brian, what is Suicide Squad? Because I'm not a big DC guy to begin with, and I don't.
Okay.
You know.
How much of DC do you know? I'm just curious. Like
basics, yeah.
Basics. Okay, so the Suicide Squad is basically a task force in which they hire some of DC's, I would say, B-C list villains to do these operations. In exchange, their sentences are shortened, or they get paroled, or excused, or whatever. So
so Dirty Dozen. I got it. Okay.
Yeah, that's why they say they want to make it like much like.
That's
Dirty.
what he said.
Oh, that'd be cool. No, that's cool. That's cool. What are the villains that they pick up? Because I know some of the villains by name.
Yeah, obviously we have Captain Boomerang, King Shark, Deadshot.
Okay.
Deadshot's usually the leader of the Suicide Squad. He's always the character that always returns.
Okay.
He's the one I know. He's the only one I know. Yeah.
Well, he's a good villain in the Batman comics. Then again,
It's a good shot too.
Yeah, good shot. Let's see, and the villains always change, but from what I'm seeing here, it looks like they're just gonna kind of stick to the first core, because Harley Quinn is in the Suicide Squad, but she was a later addition to the Suicide Squad, so she's not going to be in this one, unfortunately, despite how everyone wants Harley Quinn
Are
to be
you
on the big
sure?
screen.
Because her costume sells very well, and I'm sure they could sell dolls from here to Kingdom Come.
Well, there's no word from Harley Quinn. They did confirm Deadshot, Captain Boomerang are going to be in this movie, and they've already set a date, August 5th, 2016. So
And
they're really trying to push this out.
Harley Quinn is such a great DC villain. Like I
know.
love watching her and stuff. She's just so funny. She needs to be in some. She's making an appearance in a movie, like in a movie.
Right. Well, that's
diabolical.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Mr. J.
The merchandise in the room.
So back when there was the horrible Batman movie that had Drew Barrymore in it. Imagine if it had been a good movie with Drew Barrymore at that age as Harley Quinn.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's a combo I wished had existed.
Yeah. Well, regarding the other villains that are going to be in this Suicide Squad, they've already said that Vixen is going to be in it, Blockbuster, which was another interesting Batman villain, Mindboggler, and then Multiplex. Multiplex is an interesting one because this is a man who can make copies of himself. So that'd be kind of interesting as well. A lot of these heroes rivals and antagonists always had some kind of interesting gimmick to them. So that's why I think I'm really excited for the Suicide Squad movie.
Okay, could be good.
So last bit of news that is not movie related. I did some digging, and our friends at geekology.com brought up this article from TigerLogCabins.com. And they are advertising a product. For a scamp $133,000, you can have what is called the ZFC, or Zombie Fortification Cabin. It is literally it's those companies that sell you parts to make sheds and workshops, those large facilities. So
you're gonna share a screen?
I'm gonna share the screen right now.
Okay, hold on, wait. Let me get to my share screen. All right, go ahead.
All right, so here is the actual ad for this. I'm actually on their website. They actually sell it currently for about 70,000
pounds.
Yeah, 70,000 pounds. And I love this 10-year anti-zombie guarantee. Comes with a nice upper deck with 360-degree vantage point and escape hatch. Now, I love the very bottom. Living area with TV, Xbox, and sound system turntables.
Of course, because you need an Xbox.
I mean, what do you need to survive the zombie apocalypse?
Exactly. I have to admit, there is some interesting. I don't know. I've seen Doomsday Preppers. I've seen all this stuff, and look at this. They have extras here. Zombie cabin installation, obviously, another 13,000 pounds. Security cameras, flamethrower, riot protection outfit, solar panels. You would think solar panels would be like
not an
built
option,
in,
right?
Yeah.
It is not an accessory. You put that in there. Now, what's nice is they actually do cover a lot of the systems. Barbed wire surroundings, arsenal storage, a garden section to grow vegetables.
Oh, look, a toilet system. That's good. Yeah.
And let me see if I can get.
Wait a minute, Brian. Hold on. I don't see Rick Grimes on here anywhere.
I don't know what to tell you.
We need Daryl on there.
We need Daryl. Like they need to have the actor who plays Daryl to advertise this product.
Yeah.
I mean, my God, they'd be sold out in a heartbeat. Are you kidding?
I'll stand around with my crossbow.
You can kill some time with some MIDI turntables. You can really kill some time if you're in there just waiting it out. So if you have some good music.
Well, you can kill with records. I mean, Shaun of the Dead proved that.
Yeah, sure. Right.
Definitely. So that's pretty much all I have, and I wanted to share this very interesting product that we can actually purchase.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll have to get right on that.
So yeah, if you guys want to check it out, it's TigerLogCabins.com and just type in Zombie Fortification Cabin in the search bar, and that's how you get to it. And that's all I got for this week in the news.
Awesome. All right.
So
Well,
before we end the show, I know, Liger, you can bounce out really quick because we'll do our long goodbye. But I know you said you had to go, so we'll just give you an extra really quick. Say goodbye to everybody.
Bye, everyone.
See you later.
Pamela, it was lovely to have you on.
Thanks. It was a real pleasure. Great talking with you.
Okay. Well.
And she's gone.
Gone. All right. So everybody,
thing.
that is the MythWits for this episode. Thank you, Pamela, for coming on. You can find Pamela at cosmoquest.org. You can also find her at facebook.com/Pamela L. Gay. On Twitter, she's at Stryder. That's with a Y, StarStryder. On YouTube.
It is StarStryder.net or StarStryder.com as well.
.com.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
I'm getting there.
Okay. Sorry.
Her YouTube channel is youtube.com/astro SPHEREVIDS Spherids.
Astrosphere vids.
I just wanted to make sure that I spelled it because if I said it, they might not get it. And then, of course, astronomycast.com and Stryder.com. Also, make sure you check out Astronomy Cast. It's a great podcast. Very, very entertaining, and about 10 zillion episodes to catch up on. Anything you want to know about the universe, pretty much. I don't know how you guys keep going, but it's a big universe. So I imagine you're never going to
So
run out
at
of
some
stuff.
point, you'll be able to say you have billions and billions.
Billions of episodes.
I plan to die someday, so probably not.
Okay.
But it's a good thought.
Well, as George Ross says, everything alive must die one day.
That
Yes.
is true. All right, everybody. I'm going to run the closer. Pamela, if you want to stick around for just a second, I'm going to do this and then this. You've just enjoyed the MythWits. Join us for a live broadcast next week and every week, Mondays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you miss our live show, you can always catch the encore episodes and the podcast version at our website and on iTunes. Make sure to check out our website at mythwits.com, and of course visit us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and iTunes. MythWits is a Studio187.com production and is protected under an attribution, non-commercial, no derivatives, Creative Commons work. You can download and share it with whoever you like. Just don't change it and don't try to make money with it. Make sure to check out Studio187.com for more cool stuff. See you next week.